All right, enough of this asphalt today. Let's get dirty.
I can ride my bike with no handlebars.
Greetings, moto guys and moto gals. Welcome back to the 333. Out in the Pine Barrens on a beautiful September day in the sand. Yeah, buddy. And yeah, been a couple weeks since I've ridden. Definitely not feeling too rusty, but definitely not used to the sand, man. One of my favorite access roads in the Pine Barrens. Kind of enough sand to make it challenging, but not too much to make it aggravating or frustrating. And wow, weather's just gorgeous today. Figured I would try to come out, get some more, you know, I don't know, off asphalt practice in. I dare not say that this is off-roading. I mean, I guess it's kind of off-roading, but you know, I look at my buddy Payne's rides and that's what I consider off-roading. This is, I would say, adventure riding. And yeah, so we got some, definitely got the sugar sand going today for sure. Wow, okay. If you try to stay in the truck tracks, it kind of helps you a little bit through this. This stuff's really thick today. Whoa. Oh man, didn't see that. Wow, this is washed out big time today. Don't want to get stuck in this shit. Let me see how deep this is. Yeah, this is not very deep. Let's make sure there's no big ruts here. Should be okay going through that. Me and water, man. Water can be fun or bad. Never just want to charge in, man. I didn't remember there being any kind of deep water holes on this road, but we have gotten some rain. That's for sure. Not too bad. I'll see what else we run into. So last off-riding I did was on the MABDR. We did a group ride with about 6 or 7 guys. Got rained out by Ida, unfortunately. And another plug to my great online friend, John Sirabassi, who runs Emmaus ADV Tours. And he led that group of guys through that ride, and it was really good. I mean, what riding we did get in was amazing. If you ever get a chance to do the MABDR through central Pennsylvania, whew, beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. Ooh, some deep sand there. There's another leg of trails that I was hoping to do today. And I wanted to talk about, if I can, there's sort of a spot where I was hoping to maybe do some off-road practice. And I wanted to do some more sort of riding type practice today, I was hoping. So last time I was out in the Pine Barrens, I did sort of non-moving drills that you could do on your bike to kind of get used to your bike, especially if you're on your tall adventure bike. And then today I was hoping to work on, you know, sort of my slow speed, maneuvery kind of drills off-road if I can, but we'll see how this goes. And here's the Cranberry bogs, and they still aren't flooded. I guess they didn't harvest these yet. Yeah, these still are not harvested. So you can kind of see, you probably can't see it on the GoPro, but so this Cranberry bog is pretty much just about ready to be harvested. So this whole thing, these are all cranberry bushes, like cranberry shrubs, and this big ditch is a big irrigation system. So these are this is probably like Ocean Spray. My guess is this is probably run by Ocean Spray. Ocean Spray has just a huge amount of cranberry bogs down here, and my guess, so what they'll do is probably, if not this week, probably anytime from here forward, you can see the really bright crimson cranberries out there. They will flood this, and then they use like this, I don't know what it is, it's on floats, and it kind of shakes the shrubs, and as they shake it, the cranberries have a little pocket of air in them, and they rise to the surface. So when they're harvesting, you'll have like, you know, just this kind of dark cedar water lake, and then it'll have this bright crimson, you know, swath of cranberries on it, and you smell it. And I've wanted to see it firsthand. I've never witnessed it, but I think it's pretty cool, and this is the time of year to do it, and it's really unique to this area, so it's pretty cool. There's a big sand pit back there. I was always wondering if I could practice in there. I don't know. Let me see. We'll see. See what this is like down here. If it's a nice open area, it would be cool to practice down here, but it might be really sandy and deep. I don't know. No, actually it looks pretty good. Oh, that's a perfect practice area. Wow, this is great. All right. Let's see if I can find like a little tree limb or something to use as a little marker. Let me see. This one will work. And how about this one? All right. So we're going to set up a little figure 8 course and try to tighten up our turns because it's good to practice on. All right, so we'll put that one there. We'll see if we can see that one. I'll have to look for that. My orange cones would have been way better for sure. Okay, I can see it. All right, we'll just reiterate our drills because while I was riding down here, I wasn't doing too good. All right, so drill number 1. First thing you want to practice is getting up on your pegs and like getting into second gear. That's my opinion. Like second gear is like our sweet gear, you know what I mean? Because if you're in first, it's like too torquey. And as soon as you can sort of get up on your pegs and get into second gear, I feel like you can get like way more control on the bike. So this is what we're going to try to accomplish with this first drill. We're going to engage the bike in the first gear. We're going to stand up on our pegs, and then we're going to try to put the bike in second gear and go around and counter steer around that, you know, right little curve down there and come back into our figure 8 drill. Okay, so let's see if we can do that. So bike's in gear, stand up, right, get in second, and now I'm like counterweighting the steer into our little figure 8, right? So I'm coming out here, and now I got my stick, I'm feathering the clutch, counterweighting the bike, right, figure 8, and then just work my way around in second gear, right? So that's, you know, so that's what we're doing. We're working on the counterweighted steering. You know, the tighter you can get this, it'll help you like in some off-road situations, like you got to do a U-turn, you know what I mean? You got to make it tight. I'm trying to get as tight as I can around this like obstacle here, right? I'm trying to tighten it up, keep my revs up, all control with the clutch, throttle, and you know, my goal, I haven't done any of this practice in a while since like my Pine Barrens class, so I've got a long way to go. You can see how big my loops are. Big, goofy, dorky loops. All right, so that's, I'm going to do a little bit more of that on my own, but let's talk about some other things that you can practice. We're going to try and do the same thing. We're going to put the bike in gear in first. We're going to stand up on our pegs. We're going to get it quickly in a second. And then we're going to just try and crawl along as slowly as we can. Slow speed, trying to keep the bike balanced from tipping over. You know, if we have to dab it back up, we will. And then, so that is like, so imagine yourself, you're on an adventure ride and you've got to navigate through some kind of tricky parts, and you've got to keep your throttle up, you know, keep your RPMs up, but you've got to maintain just a slow, steady pace through the obstacles. You don't want to like blare through there, and you don't want to just let the clutch out. You want to, you know, really crawl through at a slow speed. So that's what we're going to try and do in this drill. We're going to try and go down to the end of the course, straight line, just crawling really slowly, methodically, trying to control the bike and concentrate on our balance and our stance. Okay, so we're going to get up on the pegs, in a second. Now we want to just slow down, right? We want to just try and really methodically, slowly control the bike. Keep our RPMs up. I'm going to make a turn here, counterbalance. Same thing down here, right? Really slowly go through this course, really slow, right? We're navigating. We're trying to pick our line, right? I'm trying to pick that line there, right? I want to go really, really slow. Really slow. I'm controlling with the back brake and the clutch, and I'm just trying to keep my RPMs up with my throttle. So again, I'm going to turn around here, counterbalance, and again, back through the course, really slow. Methodic. I'm in second gear, right? I'm pushing the Tenere's power band, I'm revving it up, but second gear is really nice and friendly on this bike. I can kind of do this all day long, right? Keep my RPMs up, just crawl along as slowly as I can. Crawl along as slowly as I can. Really slow. Counterbalance, get my RPMs up, get a little bit more, right? If you feel the bike tipping, you got to give it a little bit more, let the clutch out a little bit more, straighten it up, the bike will straighten up. You know, and again, that gets tough in like loose stuff. You're in sand and you feel like you're tipping, that's where you can sometimes lose it, you know. So I'm trying to navigate this stuff. Nice big mud hole there. Oh, and I dropped it. All right, turn it off. Let's turn our key off. All right, now I guess this is a good test of how we pick our bike up, right? I think what we're gonna do is we want to get our wheel turned out there. That for sure. And I was going to try and practice this too. I guess I got to go for the bars. You really shouldn't pick it up this way because it's like really. You can get the most leverage by turning the bar out. All right. Yeah, you can tell. little powerlifting exercise there, right? The tough part on picking this bike up is there's nowhere to grab it, right? So if you saw when it was down, it was really flat. And, you know, there's been discussion in the forums about how best to do this. Some guys will do the, you know, butt against the seat here, you know, right hand here. But I got nowhere to really grab. I got this rear rack. And it's tough, you know. The other way that I've seen guys like Brett Cox do it is like get under there like the football blocking dummy. If you can get under, like grab the subframe maybe, and then just kind of muscle it up. What I did was I used the principle just from street biking, right? So what do we do when we turn our bike in a street bike, right? Like when we're turning, what's sort of the rule of thumb? The bike's gonna want to fall whichever way you're turning it, right? That's one of those rules they tell you in like MSF class, right? Like if you come to a stop, you don't want to turn your wheel one way or the other because the bike will fall in that direction. You can use that to your advantage when you drop the bike, right? And that's what I did. So when the bike fell, thing's heavy, I got it loaded down with tools. It's full of fuel. It's probably like 475 pounds, I would say, you know, loaded up. But what you can do is if you turn the wheel away and you get this bar, and I kind of just focused on this bar and just power lifted up with this bar, the bike wants to fall into the turn. Same rule as on a street bike. That works. I don't know that's the best way to do it, especially for your body. It's a strain, you can see. I feel like I just did a set of squats, but again, I'm 54 and I'm working my COVID fat off. I am. I promise I'm doing it. All right, let's see. Are we still rolling? Yeah, okay. Back to the drills. All right. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's what I say. All right, so we have learned how to do crappy counterbalance steering. We've learned how to do crappy slow speed maneuvers. And now we're gonna learn how to do crappy skid braking. So we wanna do controlled skid braking. We're gonna get up on the bike, first gear, put it in the second quick, and we're gonna go across our little course, and down at the end, kind of by that grass down there, we're gonna do a sliding, we're gonna do a skid brake stop, okay? That's the goal. Here we go. Up on the pegs, second gear, we're coming through, and we're stomping and we're skidding, right? Easy peasy. You stay straight, you're headed straight. There's no reason that you should fall or do anything crazy. And one of the things you got to make sure of, depending on the bike you're on, is make sure you have your ABS disabled. If you have your ABS enabled, you will not be able to do this drill. So you've got to make sure ABS is disabled. So those are some of the, you know, riding type drills. If you take an adventure riding class with an experienced instructor, these are some of the things you're going to work on the bike. Training tip number one: practice from a dead stop, getting up onto your pegs. That's the first thing that you have to sort of get really comfortable with. Dead stop, you're in off-road mode, you know, you're on a trail, you got to start, get right up on your pegs, get the bike in the second gear, and then now you can control it. So that's drill number one. Drill number two, I would say, once you're confident getting up on the pegs and doing your, you know, getting it into gear, do that slow speed maneuvering. Very slow, very methodic, like you're crawling along a trail, you're ducking stuff, all throttle and clutch control, keep your RPMs up, and just go very methodically slow and crawl in a straight line. That would be step number 2. That would be drill number 2 that I would do. Drill number 3, once you have those 2, would be the figure 8 around your obstacles. So we want to do the counterweight of the steer, where we get our ass over the opposite side of the back of the bike. We're controlling with our rear brake, we're feathering with the clutch, we're keeping RPMs up, we're dipping the bike in and then coming around. And then last drill, which I need a lot of work on, is controlled skidding. So you want to try skidding in a straight line, right? So you want to come down and you want to try and do it faster and faster. So I did it in 2nd gear. Ideally you want to do it in, like, say, trail speed. 3rd gear, you want, like, you have to emergency brake, skid. So you straight line, skid, stay in control. And then if you get that mastered, then try to do a skid turn. So you want to avoid an obstacle, you're skidding, and then you want to shift to the left or shift to the right. Almost like the weave drill in MSF, but it's like skidding, right? So those are like the fundamental riding drills. So last time I was out in the Pines, we did the fundamental balance and control. You know, I showed you like dabbing, foot up, foot down, you know, doing the walk around the bike, balancing it. Now you're on the bike, you want to try these drills and practice them. And now I'm really happy because this is in my regular route. I thought this was like a washed out sand pit, so I'm going to come back here regularly and just practice. I'm really happy I found this area. So this was a plus for me, aside from the deadlifting of the bike being down, but that's part of it too. You got to be, you know, when you're out here alone and you drop the bike, you got to practice picking it the fuck up, man. And it sucks, but you know, it's part of it. So that's all I got, boys and girls. Peace. Ride safe.